I don't know what the hell's going on behind me. I mean, close your window. You don't want to be subject to being seen on the pool deck. But anyway, I just got this package in the mail. Pretty excited about it. I feel like if it is what it's supposed to be, then this is really gonna help me as far as just getting through the day to day. It's a pretty big purchase for me, just based on the nature of what it is. I'll tell you before I go ahead and open it. I ordered some socks through Snap-on. If you're unfamiliar with Snap-on, basically it's this truck. It's a franchise, and they've got them throughout, I guess, the USA. And they basically drive up to places like, I don't know exactly in particular what the like shops are as far as like the brand name goes, but AutoZones, O'Reilly's, or I would even imagine like a Jiffy Lube or somewhere where there's actually like mechanics working to go and distribute their tools. But it's just something that lives rent-free in my head. I haven't seen them in a while, but when I did see them, you know, I want to say maybe when I was living in Kansas City, I may have seen more, because I've really not seen any in New Orleans, but it just, like I said, lives rent-free in my head of like this thing that exists that I've always wanted to know a little bit more about. So basically I just knew it was like high quality tools, and then I started noticing, like when I finally went to their website, they have all sorts of other like workwear, stuff that's made specifically for like somebody who is gonna, like, you know, be rough in their clothes or whatever, whether it's like thicker hoodies, stuff like that. So, and it's just ironic that they're banging all this stuff next door to me right now, because this wasn't going on like 5 minutes ago. But anyway, bear with me. I'm about to open this up. Basically, I ordered these socks from their website. I ordered them off of eBay actually, but I googled, you know, what the quality was. I ordered a 3-pack. I'll say they're pretty pricey. The reason why I'm striving for a sock, not only like, you know, a boot sock that like a Wrangler would make, or something that's a lot more like heavy duty than a normal sock, is to, number one, the comfort. You know what I'm saying? Like, I bought cowboy boots a couple of years ago, or they were gifted to me, and believe it or not, after 6 months of wear, they just got destroyed, like, which is nuts for like any sort of shoe. I've never been the type of person to like say, oh, I only had these for 6 months and they're busted now. Like, that's just not something that happens to me. But sure enough, it did. I didn't really like the feel of them anyway, and it's just kind of ironic now because even the ones I have, I've worked at like a sneaker shop, and I would walk in with these because that's my style. Like, a lot of guys wear sneakers, I feel like, you know, and we know the prices of these sneakers. They're coming out every week. You know, if there's a $10 difference, guys pitch a fit. So basically, to me, I don't ever want to be like that blue collar guy who's like, oh, these work boots cost this much or that or whatever. But at the end of the day, like, I've got boots that cost double what your pair of sneakers are gonna cost, you know. And so anyway, I found myself in them more and more, and you have to have this certain type of sock to get through the day in a pair of boots. And I would just say it's because it's leather. It's not like a cushiony suede or, you know, puffy sole and all of that, you know. So I think in combination with like the instep, the heel, and all of that, you're gonna find yourself wanting cushionier socks. And if you've never worn boots before, I feel like that's going to be the first thing you're going to start to pick up on, is that this is an entirely different culture in itself, that they make socks specifically made for boots, and they're like 3 times as thick as a normal sock if you're buying the right type of brand. You know, you could be buying a boot sock and it still comes out as thin, but the way I was taught is that a boot sock is supposed to be like super, super thick, spongy almost, like abnormal when you pull it out of the rest of the, you know, sock, when you pull out your sock drawer, like, whoa, what is this, you know? And so anyway, that's been my goal in buying any sort of sock that I'm gonna wear to work. And with that in mind, this is my main sort of work shoe. This is a Yeezy Knit Runner. I get a lot of weird and strange comments, like, I know what these are. These are the foam runners. These are not the foam runners. These are far from a foam runner. This is not a shoe with a liner over it. It might look that way, but this is all one complete piece. The way they ship, they don't come with insoles. So fresh out the box, you may be a little skeptical of like, how are you gonna fit this shoe? Because without an insole, your foot's swimming in this shoe. Why you would want to wear it without an insole, I don't know. But if you're maybe buying like just a half a size up and you receive it without an insole, you slip your foot in there, you're gonna be like, oh, this fits, but you're still kind of like, as cushiony as this shoe is, put an insole in it. Like, and now you've got a complete shoe that's not only, you know, like any other shoe, but it's gonna be that comfortable feeling that I feel like you should get fully with a shoe with the insole that's also comfortable as well. With these, I had to size up a size and a half. So first of all, you go to try it on without an insole, it's a size and a half up. Panic mode hits. How am I gonna wear this shoe? My foot's swimming in it. Once you buy the insole, number one, comfort. The insoles I have in these, they're a little bit raised. They're off of Amazon. They're very inexpensive, but just the style itself, it doesn't look like any other insole. It doesn't look like a Dr. Scholl's. I don't even understand like all the ridges and stuff in a Dr. Scholl's insole, even with that little plastic piece and all of that. To me, it's just still not comfortable. It's just this weird gel stuff, you know. Whereas you get something that's got like some sort of raised pattern on it, even if it's some generic brand that you buy off of Amazon, it makes your shoe that much better and or that much more comfortable. And it just, you can feel it all up underneath, you know, the ridges of your foot and everything like that. So fresh out the pack, no trimming necessary, slid it right in there. I think it was just like a size 11 insole I slipped in. By the time I sized up a size and a half on these are 12 and a half. I were in 11. So on top of that, one more little piece of advice: put a boot sock on when you wear this shoe. So I cannot wear this shoe other than to just go get a meal, you know. But if I'm gonna be walking around all day, like with what I do for work in a convention center or something, or a large job site, I gotta have the combination of the insole that I put in these, they're not coming out, and a large or like a cushiony boot sock, trail sock, hiking sock. I bought a pair of Dickies socks. I don't know if it's Dickies work socks, Dickies trail socks. I want to say that's what they were, from like a Marshall's, like about a year ago, to wear with my boots, because I was starting to buy like different boot socks. I don't like the Cavender's, Wrangler, whatever the brand is. Like, first of all, I want a black sock, a gray sock, some sort of color that's not gonna just look gross after 4 or 5 washes. So for whatever reason, I've yet to find just a black Wrangler. And then the reason why I got them from Marshall's is because I don't know what store to go into, what aisle to go into to go find these, but it seems like Marshall's, one of the few good things that I think they've still been able to accomplish is to have something that's just like specific when you need it, even though it may seem random, but it's specific to like a specific sport or whatever. So yeah, so to say all of that, I've been going through what, I've got probably 4 different, you know, colors of these Dickies socks that I rotate throughout the week and keep washed or whatever. And so it's just been a journey. I mean, I could probably keep poking my head back into Marshall's or whatever to find another pair, but where I'm at now, it's like, I know this is something I'm gonna be wearing on the daily, so I want to be able to find a very specific brand in particular, because even if you read the packaging right, you go on Amazon and everything, you know, Dickies makes 1,000 different types of socks. you know, I'm not trying to go the back and forth to Amazon. I mean, maybe at some point I will, and I get it down, I just hit the buy again thing. But like, even then, I've yet to find the time to do that. So with Snap-on, it's one type of model, one type of sock. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna come down to, is it a crew sock? Is it a high top sock? And is it white or black? So here we go. The world's most comfortable, most durable work socks. I've read things online that says they're mixed with Kevlar or whatever. This right here says this is 70% ring spun cotton, 18% nylon, 11% polyester, and 1% lycra. I don't know about that 1% lycra, but anyway, I found these on eBay. It says they were returnable. It's on the seller for a return label, which is dope. And I got a 3-pack because they are expensive. And like I said, I still got a couple of those Dickies pairs, and I just want to make sure they fit me right, and then I didn't break the bank on the initial, you know, investment. So let's see. Pulling them out, they feel like a Carhartt. They feel a little bit thicker than a Carhartt. They're not as thick as what I would have expected them to be already out the package. I mean, I was a little skeptical at first. I almost doubled down on buying these and another like cycling sock, but just because they came with that free returns, my work week's a little bit stagnant, like for the next week or so. I just really wanted to be able to get my hands on them first to see, but they do feel a little bit thinner. They don't feel like super thin compared to my Dickies, but at the same time, they're not super thick either. If they would have been thicker than my Dickies, I would have been upset. Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna say it's a little bit raised around the bottom. I can certainly feel that. The toe does seem reinforced. It seems like it's reinforced in all the right places, because I feel like the Dickies, they can get kind of hot even though they're like the merino wool. This seems like they're reinforced in exactly the right places, so there may be a perk to that. Let's see, putting them on my Yeezys. Like, the cool thing about these, I mean, being that you have to have something so specific for them to fit, you know, like instantly, like if you got something good or not, just putting them on. Like, is this as cushiony as I want it to be? Or else shit, foot's coming right up out the shoe, you know. But let's see. I like that they have this option of, you know, this crew sock. I feel like I look kind of ridiculous walking around. I've made these like my everyday shoe, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm just walking around with such a long sock on my day off, like I kind of feel weird. I don't know. I like a mechanic sort of brand. You know, I'm kind of in that phase of life right now. I'm like Mr. DIY, so I'm gonna try and walk around with them. I may get out of the shot a little bit. Alright, so they're definitely thicker around the toe, I would say, than like any other sock I've had. That reinforcement is totally there, to the point that like the stitching on the edge, it's kind of like got a little dimple in it. Totally there. Maybe bothersome to some. I could kind of feel it between my pinky toe and the toe next to it. They're definitely thick. I feel like walking around the pool, I felt a little bit of heel slip, a little bit more than maybe what I'm comfortable with. So I think that I'm willing to try the other pair that I saw on Amazon that's like a cycling sock. they're still a little bit more expensive. I've been able to kind of like pull a little bit up from out of here. It's got a little slack. I feel like when I go to wash them, they'll kind of shrink up on me a little bit. But yeah, I think it'll take walking around like a convention center or something to see if I really like them or not. But it was a little bit more heel slip than what I'm used to from the thicker sock. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna walk around some more, but as far as like this video process goes, I think if you're looking for that versatility of like something that's really, really thick in the heel, really, really thick in the toe, this might be the sock for you. But if you're looking for like the upper part, like this part, and all of where you would want that extra protection around the top of your foot, it's just a normal sock to me. Maybe a little bit higher quality, but yeah, if I could comfortably walk around in these, I'll be happy. But yeah, totally, I would say like better suited for the summer, or on a day where maybe your feet would get a little bit more hot than say like a full merino wool sock. Yeah. And honestly, I don't know how this one came up so high, but it's that thickness around this part that I really need, you know. So we'll see. I'm gonna walk around some more. I might even go walk around the seawall here in a minute.